Well, speaking about being vocal, that's something Thomas Tuchel certainly has been after Xavi announced that he would be departing at the end of the season. Speaking to a fans group, a Bayern fan club, Thomas Tuchel, when asked about moving to Spain, said moving abroad is something that continues to attract me, and Spain has an extraordinary league. From my point of view, and based on my experience working with Spanish players, they are characterised by enormous self-confidence. Now, this has annoyed German-based pundits who see it as him publicly flirting with the idea of managing in Spain. Didi Hamann came out and said he sits there and talks about Xavi, about his successor, and that he would like to coach in Barcelona or Spain. That's a disgrace. Tuchel is a very intelligent man. Something like that doesn't just slip out of his mouth, but he needs to know one thing. When you are an employee of FC Bayern, messing with the club's leadership was rarely a good idea. And now Bayern have made an official statement on this matter. Didi Hamann coming out to what happened with Thomas Tuchel, saying, our head coach Tuchel was asked by supporters on Sunday as part of a fan club visit about his coaching career. He also answered general questions from fans about Spain as a footballing country. He never spoke about Xavi Hernandez and his successor, as he was falsely claimed afterwards. We will no longer accept such non-factual statements directed against our coach, which always come from the same source. Well, Jan, why have Bayern to even clarify this?
It's these pundits covering German football. Look, it's causing trouble, Jan.
Where should I start? I mean, this with Didi Hamann and Bayern, this is, for the old listeners and viewers, this is Kramer versus Kramer. This is Meryl Streep and Dustin Hoffman. They've been war for ages. I mean, this is just keep on going. We saw that live on TV. Thomas Tuchel and Didi Hamann is not a great combination. And I've been colleague with Didi Hamann. He's a fellow footballer. He played for City. He played for Liverpool. And he played for Bayern Munich. So on one hand, Bayern Munich want to have them a bit like ambassadors kind of thing for them. But I have to, on Didi's, not the defense, I have to attack him a bit. Because Thomas Tuchel didn't talk about Xavi. He didn't talk about, I want to be a new Barcelona coach. You have to understand this, the position Thomas Tuchel is in. On Sunday, all the players and the coaching and the staff were traveling around Germany and visited fans. And there are Q&As. And he's been in England. He won the Champions League with Chelsea, as we know. He was at PSG. He was in Paris, in France. And he was asked, would he like to be in Spain? And this was his answer. So Didi Hamann used that thing. He also said that Thomas Tuchel and Bayern is the biggest misunderstanding since Klinsmann was at Bayern. And that was not seen as a successful spell by Jürgen. So this is ongoing. I understand that Bayern will react, or I know that they always do. They even go harder out and say there could be consequences for Didi Hamann. Why? Should they sue him for his opinion or anything? Imagine everybody when Manchester United will sue Craig Burley for something. That will not happen. So this is just a battle.
Okay, but just as he said...
We don't want to start that ball rolling.
We definitely don't want to start that ball rolling.
Because it'll be a long... It will get very litigious.
Yeah,
Sir Jim Ratcliffe, can you hear us?
but
I got a few shekels in my pocket. Not much.
So, like, this is not me sticking up for Didi Hamann or anything, but if Xavi's just announced that and you're with a Bayern fan group, you must know that comments like this are going to get out there if you're Thomas Tuchel.
Yeah, I don't think it's the biggest headache for Thomas Tuchel. I think the biggest headache is coaching his own team at the moment and the scenario he finds himself in with Leverkusen, who dropped some points at the weekend, and obviously the Champions League with the big signing of Harry Kane. So I think this will ultimately just blow over, and Thomas Tuchel will be judged, as Jan knows, at the end of the season, and whether this is the first time in I don't know how many years that Bayern won't win the title, and obviously how far they go in the Champions League is going to be big as well. So yeah, I mean, I suppose he could have been a little bit more guarded. I don't know. It just seems to me everything these days, even if you give a throwaway comment, everything just seems to get picked upon. The snowball starts rolling down the hill, and it just becomes bigger and bigger. And before you know it, he's going to Barcelona. But he's got bigger fish to fry, and that is he needs to make sure. And in some sense, yeah, and he got lucky last year because Dortmund, I think we'd all agree, kind of threw it away at the end. And that one was kind of handed to him. So he needs to make sure that he's not the first coach in there seeing somebody else come and topple Bayern. Because will he survive that if that happens at Bayern?
No, he won't survive if they don't win a title. Of course he won't. And he's out of the cup this week. The Bundesliga is a big one coming up on the 10th of February against Bayer Leverkusen. But I think it's quite interesting. At the show today, we are discussing a player, Virgil van Dijk, who gave an honest assessment of the situation. And then you have Thomas Tuchel, who's answering a fan about, yes, maybe one day I will be a coach in Spain. Yes, I'm with UK. He should understand that when Xavi just did that. But he is a Bayern Munich coach at the moment. That is as big as it gets. At the moment, as we're speaking, that is a bigger job than being in Barcelona. But we all know this is all about winning football games. If they're playing Gladbach this weekend, then he got a bit more rest, and then they will build up again for the Bayer Leverkusen thing. Man, you can agree or disagree with Didi Hamann, but he has his right to have his opinion, period.